The government of Kenya has backed the push by the Rapid Support Forces to form a parallel government in Nairobi, saying that the tabling of a roadmap and the proposed leadership in Sudan by the RSF is in Kenya's capital compatible with the country's role in peace and negotiations to provide non-partisan platforms to the conflicting warring parties in Sudan and seek answers. A statement by the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Foreign Affairs CS Musalia Mudavadi also states that the RSF is leveraging on good offices and environment in Nairobi. Here is Melita Oletenges with that report.
A diplomatic tiff between Nairobi and Khartoum is raging after the Ministry of Foreign Affairs firmly defended the Rapid Support Forces and Sudanese civilian groups' founding of a political charter to form a breakaway government. In a statement, the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Foreign Affairs, Musalia Mudavadi, says that the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, and Sudanese civilian groups tabling of a roadmap and proposed leadership in Nairobi is compatible with Kenya's role in peace negotiation, which enjoins her to provide non-partisan platforms to conflict parties to seek resolutions. Mudavadi continues to say that this is not the first time groups in Sudan have sought solutions to their crisis by leveraging the good offices of neighboring countries. Mudavadi says that Kenya has established a history of facilitating dialogue between conflicting neighboring and regional states, and that when Kenya offers this space, it is without any ulterior motives. It is because we believe there is no military solution to political disputes. Nairobi has also taken a swipe at Khartoum and the junta led by General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, calling out their rise to power as nothing more than a coup, not a legitimate takeover. Further saying that Kenya aligns with the African Union Charter on the unconstitutional change of government and the 27th October 2021 AU decision suspending Sudan from all activities of the AU, including the just-ended African Union Commission elections. Earlier, Sudan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs had condemned Kenya's decision to allow the Rapid Support Forces and allied factions to hold a meeting in Nairobi, calling it an endorsement of the paramilitary group that has been locked in a brutal conflict with the Sudanese Armed Forces SAF. The statement reading in part, "This move promotes the dismembering of African states, violates their sovereignty, and interferes in their internal affairs. This is therefore a clear breach of the UN Charter, the Constitutive Act of the African Union, and the established principles of the contemporary international order." Sudan's foreign ministry has accused President William Ruto of double-speak on RSF activities in Kenya, sending a partisan message barely a week after Ruto urged warring parties in the conflict to engage in genuine and inclusive dialogue.
Our presence here today reaffirms our unwavering solidarity with the people of Sudan. It is incumbent upon all of us, member states and people of goodwill, alike to support ongoing efforts towards a peaceful resolution while addressing the urgent humanitarian needs of those affected by this conflict.
A hue and cry by Kenyans on social media over Nairobi supporting the RSF has labelled Kenya as a destabilizing factor in regional geopolitics.
But it is important that Kenya doesn't take side in this. Kenya can offer ground for negotiation. If the other faction determines that Kenya or decides that Kenya has taken side with RFS and cannot trust Kenya to negotiate, then Kenya can offer the home for negotiations, which Kenya has done in the past.
Over the last 3 days, over 200 people have been killed by RSF militia in White Nile State. The attacks occurred in villages around the town of Al-Gitain. The RSF traces its roots to the notorious Janjaweed militias, dubbed devils on horsebacks, who terrorized Darfur in the 2000s. Back then, they were used by the regime of President Omar al-Bashir to crush a rebellion. Now, analysts argue the RSF's move to declare a parallel government from Kenya is a calculated bid for international recognition, plunging Kenya into a diplomatic storm. Melita Oletenges, Citizen TV.